Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message today, people, is, acknowledging what great leadership look like, especially on leading a country, like what this great leadership looks like. And one of the things I want to do a lot of moving forward, people, obviously I always declare my mandate, which is to unite the Caribbean and Africa. And one of the things I'll be doing moving forward is, as I do a lot of research about different countries and what's happening, especially in Africa, but of course the Caribbean too, is that I want to highlight some of the things that I believe that they're doing very well. That way, if nothing else, people, you'll give ideas to other countries of what they can do for their people. Because, in my opinion, the great leadership of great countries, when you have that, man, there's nothing that's not possible. You know what I'm saying? Is that when you have great leadership that, is very caring and love their people and put their people first, then that's when miraculous things can happen. That's when the rapid changes come as far as improving people's lives by putting in policies and things in place to foster and garner that, Some of the countries I want to shout out to, man, I remember, I think it was back in the early 2000s when I watched the movie Hotel Rwanda, and obviously I understand it's Hollywood, but there's a lot of truth that comes out of that movie, you know what I'm saying? And to watch the leadership of that country to transform from genocide to being one of the most cleanest country in Africa and extremely and very prosperous. That's only because of great leadership, people, and I think that is awesome. I respect the leadership for that, for putting policies and things in place. In other words, putting people first, man. New up and coming that I've been watching now for a while is what's happening over there in Burkina Faso, I think it's Abraham Traore. He's one of the youngest leaders out here, man, but this man is doing a lot of amazing things for his people, I know recently I was watching a video where he was talking about how the Saudi prince was offering 200 mosques in his country. And, I really respect his response, man. It's like, instead of giving us mosques right now, we'll get there at some point where we need that. But right now, what we need is hospitals and schools. You want to fund that? Let's go, And it's like, I just thought that was very awesome, man, And bold leadership, man. Like, this man have made a lot of bold moves, man. He ordered something like 400 tractors to subsidize and help the farmers in this country to till, and, help them to use the equipment, to farm their land. I think it was back right here in March. I think they just put like 8,000 young people to work, man, on farms. Last year when they ordered those equipments, this harvest, this season is one of the biggest one ever, I think the three main pillars of any great country, man, is number one is for your people. Number one, you must recognize that the people are your greatest asset. And the more you invest in your people, is the better your country will be, not just in the short term, but also for the long term, And I just really think that it's awesome when I see leadership putting things in place to make life better for their people, man, because, ideas, man, is everything. And for them to really be putting things in place, policies, and really helping their people in their country, man, I just think that's really awesome, Some of the ideas that they got over there, like I mentioned before, where they put the prisoners to work the farmland too, But coming back to the main point, the main things I think every country need is, I think you need food security. That's number one, is that agriculture should be paramount, because if you can't feed yourself, people, then that's a problem, That means you're dependent on other countries for imports, One of the things I remember growing up as a kid up in rural Jamaica, man, is that, we had farms. I grew up on a farm, and everything we ate, we grew. Peas, carrots, corn, yams, banana, cocoa, all of them things, man. The only thing we had to buy from the store was flour, rice, and sugar. chickens, pigs, goat, all of that stuff, all the livestock we grew, And as an adult, I just really appreciated that, man. And, I just think that's awesome. But food security, I think, is one of the greatest thing, man, that any nation should focus on, is developing your agriculture so that you not only have enough to feed your people, but you have surplus so that you can actually export your goods to other countries. And I think the countries moving forward that will do very well is people that, number one, have food security. One of the things I really like about Burkina Faso right now is they actually make it more localized, like in Jamaica, and I'm pretty sure same thing probably there in Africa, is there's a lot of little small towns, that got a little shop that serve the people. And, one of the things that they're doing over there right now is they're manufacturing rice machines, man, that can make rice, you know what I'm saying? And you can sell that in your local neighborhood, man. At the end of the day, man, everything is from the micro, man, micro businesses, and I just thought that was awesome and exciting. And I really look forward to helping as time goes by to foster trade between countries and to help in the three segments. So anyway, that was number one. Number two, people, is energy security. You can't power a country without energy, so you definitely want to make sure you have that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get creative with that, man. You got to look at, like, okay, renewable energy, that's the future, people. And, definitely you got to make sure you put things in place to make sure that you have energy for, decades to come, if not longer, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely think that every country must make that a priority to make sure that you have renewable as well as sustainable energy, One of the greatest way that I think that any country can move from whatever status they are to improve the lives of the people is through investing in the people, man. Investing right now. Jamaica got some really good programs, man, that I'm really excited about, thanks to the leadership of Honorable, Andrew Otis. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's really awesome. Like right now, they got AI is a big push from people. Like, here's the deal: that's the future, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Just like the internet, you couldn't stop it. Here it is, 20 years later. You know what I mean? And it's stronger than ever. The next wave of evolution, people, is AI technology. And for countries that don't invest in that and don't take time to do that right now, then you will be left behind. You know what I mean? Just like other revolutions that have came and passed. My point is, people, is that you must invest in your people. And the way you could do that is through STEM. You could do that by, providing accessibility and access for people to learn coding, you know what I'm saying, so they can write these programs. Also, just really integrating in their lives from a very young age AI technology. That way, not only are they familiar with it, but they can actually expand on it. And the way I see it, man, is that we have some of the greatest mind people. I think it was I forgot exactly when, maybe a few months ago, they had a robotics team out of Jamaica, man. And I was listening to the teacher talk about the students, and it was just so impressive to me. These students right here, more or less, like their robot was destroyed, on their travel from Jamaica. I think it was to Miami or somewhere in Florida. And the kids literally worked all night long, man, to build this robot. The robot that took them a week took them less than a day, with everybody just pitching and putting all the energy and effort. And they turned out and won the damn competition, man. I'm just saying, it's like where there's a will, there's a way. But investing in people, especially the students, man, you got to invest in your people. So those are just three. There's so many other components to life and business and, governments, man. But I'm just saying, for right now, the three biggest area is that food security, energy security, and of course, investing in your people, investing really in the education that they'll need to really be prepared for the future. It goes without saying, man, obviously provide housing. That goes without saying. With that being said, people, my declaration over your life, number one, is that you are a millionaire. Number two, you're married to the person of your dreams. Number three, people, is that you have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that you really heed these messages, man, that you'll be hearing me speak every day and get busy transforming your life. Have a good day, y'all.